sana, tamu sana, yes. Earlier today, William Ruto landed in Western Kenya, the Mulembe Nation. He started off his rallies today in Kakamega County, after which he proceeded to Busia. And in both Kakamega and in Busia, William Ruto found it very, very hard to address the residents, because largely the residents were heckling him. And in Busia, ladies and gentlemen, it took the intervention of the police for William Ruto maybe to address the residents. It was a running battle in Busia involving the police on one side and Busia residents on the other side. A clear indication that William Ruto's rallies today in the Mulembe Nation was largely a flop. It was not the kind of rallies maybe William Ruto had expected. So in this video right now, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to have a look at some short clips of what transpired in William Ruto's rallies today, after which, as usual in this YouTube channel, we are going to dissect them and put them squarely where they belong politically. What does this mean politically as far as Raila's influence in the Mulembe Nation is concerned, and William Ruto's brand of campaigns is also concerned? That's our analysis and discussion. So if in case you've just bumped on this YouTube channel for the very, very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. Give it a like, please. Give it a like. Thank you. God bless you. Let's have a look at this short clip. Yes. From those clips, you can see clearly that the heckling is being done by some people donning Uda t-shirts. And they are right in the middle of the crowd, after which we are seeing them burning those t-shirts. An indication that maybe those who are not genuine Uda supporters, but maybe they were bought to show that their loyalty. And you know, sometimes both crowds sometimes do disappoint. So it's very, very clear from that incident of today that that was not an organized heckling. It was a heckling that emanated or rather naturally, from the people themselves. And that depicts or shows that William Ruto is very, very unpopular in Western Kenya, but he's trying, or rather forcing himself onto the people, and also trying to deceive Kenyans that is very, very popular in those parts of the country. The truth of the matter, William Ruto is very unpopular in the Mulembe Nation. That's a given fact. Secondly, I tend to believe, watching at those clips, that maybe Kenyans in general have now decided to serve William Ruto from the same plate he has been serving others. Some months ago, when William Ruto was alone on the campaign trail, specifically on the mountain, we saw some walkouts when Keleweke leaders were addressing residents. But it later turned out that a majority of those walkouts were well organized by Tanga leaders and their supporters to paint a picture that Ruto was actually very, very popular on the mountain, while the president and leaders supporting him were very, very unpopular. And also recently, when Raila was also in Kiambu, there was some group of hecklers heckling Raila Amolo Odinga. It later turned out that they were organized and paid by Tanga Tanga and UDA leadership. And also sometimes back in Eldoret, though that was not highlighted, there was also a clip of some residents trying to heckle Raila Amolo Odinga, though they were overpowered by Raila supporters in Eldoret. Another indication that William Ruto on one side may be with his supporters and leaders supporting him, they are trying to organize heckling for their competitors. But for them, they want to have their rallies free from heckling. So maybe Kenyans have just realized that this man is somehow playing a rough game on his opponents. So Kenyans have decided to serve William Ruto from the same plate he has been serving his competitors. Yes. And then thirdly, from that, or rather from that reaction, or rather from the way those people are reacting, it tells me clearly, or rather it shows me clearly, that those might not have been genuine ODA supporters, but it might have been a bot crowd or a crowd that was just there, but they are not actually William Ruto supporters. Because also something similar to this also happened when William Ruto was in Isiolo. And after the rally, women representative of that area of Isiolo came out and actually explained what happened. And she told Kenyans very well and very clearly that she used about 700,000 Kenya shillings to bribe, or rather the borders, to attend that rally. After they attended, I think now maybe they disagreed on how they are going to be paid, whether they were to be paid immediately after the rally or whichever they disagreed on that. So it also just exposes that William Ruto's rallies, the crowds that he always attracts, largely are not genuine crowds, but either they are both crowds or people who are just there, but they're not William Ruto supporters. That seems to be coming out looking at quite a number of William Ruto's rallies. It's something that is constant in William Ruto's rallies. And then, fourthly, ladies and gentlemen, looking at the bigger picture and also observing what is currently happening on the political stage in Kenya, I'm seeing a situation where William Ruto's stronghold will be reduced to only some sections of the Kalenjin-dominated Rift Valley. I'm seeing a situation like that. And William Ruto will not be the first to undergo that. Because in Kenya, every country has got its history. In Kenya, it has been proved that a candidate contesting for the presidency for the very, very first time, if you are lucky, you only manage to win your ethnic followers, or rather, you only vote from your ethnic community, unless you are supported by the government. So I'm seeing history repeating itself. In 2022, William Ruto will be contesting for the presidency for the very, very first time. And I won't be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, if you will just find William Ruto only getting or winning votes from his Kalenjin ethnic community. And now with also Gideon Moi factor, that vote might not be all that block. I tend to believe that way. Because now as things start becoming clear and clear that William Ruto will not be the president, you might also find some rebellion now building even among the Kalenjins, and that rebellion can also make a good portion of them align themselves with Gideon Moi and also with Raila Amolo Odinga. So that will leave William Ruto just confined to some section of the Kalenjin-dominated Rift Valley. Yes. And then fifthly, that rally of today of William Ruto in Western Kenya has really exposed some things that we've just been talking about in this YouTube channel. I'm one person who has always maintained that if an election was to be done today in Western Kenya, Raila will win the Mulembe vote. That is something that I've been explaining in this YouTube channel very, very clearly. Because now look at William Ruto's rallies today. In Kakamega, he had a problem. And then in Busia, it took the intervention of the police for William Ruto to address the residents. It was a running battle between the residents and the police just for William Ruto to address the rallies. An indication that Raila Amolo Odinga is the person to beat in the Mulembe nation. That's a given fact, and anybody may be denying that. That's somebody who is just burying his head in the sand. Raila is the man to beat in the Mulembe nation. Because if you look at Busia, largely, Busia, there is a good presence of some kind of intermarriage between the Luo community and the lawyers there. And then also lawyers themselves, they prefer Raila Amolo Odinga. That one is in Busia. And then in Kakamega, it's still largely the same. So as a whole, you will find to beat Raila Odinga in the Mulembe nation will be very, very hard now that Raila's chances of becoming the president, or rather winning the presidency, seems to be more realistic. More realistic than any other time before. So I tend to believe that you might now find the lawyers all aligning themselves to support Raila Amolo Odinga, because they believe now that their man they have been voting for all along is now almost getting the presidency. So it will be very, very hard to beat Raila Amolo Odinga. And that is something that I've really been stating in this YouTube channel. And even from the reaction William Ruto received today, you can see that the common denominator there was Raila. Both in Kakamega, it was being told Raila. In Busia, it was the same thing. So you can see that Raila is constant in almost all the counties, or rather the Mulembe counties, William Ruto toured today. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, just as I did indicate when we were starting, if you've just bumped on this YouTube channel for the very, very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. Give it a like, please. Give it a like. And to those watching us outside of Kenya, for the very, very first time, drop a comment and let us know from which part of the globe you are also watching us from. Drop a comment, please. And to our fans and subscribers in this YouTube channel, I'm very, very much humbled with the kind of support you are giving me here. I'm very, very much humbled. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana.